Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So today what I have for you is some AliExpress Apple Watch bands. Whenever I'm making videos about any of the AliExpress products, one of the most common questions I get in the comment section is with regards to links. And the problem with finding links for AliExpress products is the links generally tend to disappear quite quickly. So what I actually did was I reached out to a few of the sellers, and what I wanted was to find somebody that I know is going to stay on AliExpress and somebody who provides a product that is as close to the genuine item as possible. So this particular seller, I'll list all the details on screen. This particular seller actually got back to me and wanted to send me one of every color, just so then we can showcase those in this particular video. And the key thing, and the main reason I've gone for this particular seller over most of the other ones, is because of what you can see on there. So they actually sell the Apple Watch bands based on the sizing similar to what Apple do. So obviously all of these are still packaged. I've not taken a look at any of these yet, so what I'll do is I'll get them all unboxed or unwrapped and we'll take a look at how they actually compare. So this, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see it or not, but you might just be able to see it on there. This is a genuine size 4 Abyss Blue Apple Watch band. I also have the size 5 in, can't remember what the blue, the color was, but it was the sort of lighter color similar to this one for the Apple Watch last year. So I had the size 5 last year. This year I actually went for the size 4. So first thing we'll do is we'll get all of these unwrapped, and as you can see, this is exactly how they come packaged. They'll obviously come in some sort of an envelope or something, but then this is all you get. Right, I'm running out of space, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of the ones that I know were from last year up here. I think the purple might have also been from last year as well. This, in fact, that I think might have come this year. So the ones that I know on you are this one, the Abyss Blue, the bright orange, the green I think is new. Yeah, I think that's pretty much how it would have been. So as soon as we've got the Abyss Blue here, we'll take a look at both of these first. So straight off the bat, as you can see, the sizing isn't quite exactly the same. Even when you look at them on the table themselves, they're not all identical in terms of the sizing. Most of those ones tend to be. On these ones, I'll just flip that one over. Yeah, they're close, but as you can see, the difference between the genuine size 4 and their size 4 is it's not quite the same. In fact, if anything, this particular one is actually slightly smaller. Now, in terms of the texture is slightly different. These ones just tend to have a thinner weave to them. So the one on my right is the genuine one, and this one is the sort of replica. The Abyss Blue is actually probably the worst one out of all of them in terms of how wide they are. The key thing with the braided solo loop is if you want it to be comfortable, then it needs to be wide, because that's what actually spreads the sort of pressure over your wrist further, and it actually makes it a bit more comfortable. Now, obviously I've been used to wearing the Abyss Blue since I got the Series 7, so what I'll do is I'll just pop this on and we'll see how this actually feels. So in terms of comfort, it's actually not bad, but this particular band reminds me very much of the red one that I used to use for work, where it's tapering off a little bit too much. With that said, some of these other ones do look like they are a little bit better. So if I take a look at the red, for example, yeah, so that one, it looks like it tapers a tiny bit better compared to the Abyss Blue. I think out of all of them, the Abyss Blue is probably the worst example out of the ones that I've actually received. Comparing it to the red band that I used to use at work for long periods, this one feels a little bit more comfortable just because it feels like it's slightly wider. The texture isn't quite the same, so whatever Apple's doing, nobody's still been able to actually match their band 100%. I mean, you can just see it in any of these. Like the actual texture between the two is actually slightly different. All of these initially, and that's something to note, initially when you first get them, they all have this sort of slightly rougher texture in comparison to Apple's. That does actually wear down. Obviously I've used one of these as my work band for quite a long time, and yeah, it does wear down. Out of all of them, this one tends to have a slightly different texture. That's actually as close to the genuine one as I've seen. All of these ones where they've got more vivid, brighter colours, it's almost like they've applied some sort of a coating to the actual braid, and that's what's actually initially changing the actual colour of those. We'll take a look at this one. This one was one that I was curious about to see how it actually looks on the Blue Watch. Okay, so unfortunately I lost audio for the rest of this video, so the rest of this is going to be all voiceover. So what I went on to say at this point was basically just how, apart from the Abyss Blue, the rest of these bands seem to fit quite well. The genuine one will stretch over time, as well as all of these other bands. I did find with my size 5 that it did actually stretch over time. The third-party ones, because they are a slightly different material, they don't tend to stretch as much, but they will still loosen off a tiny bit. Now, one thing I just wanted to quickly highlight from their website, from the actual listing itself, is as you can see, they're one of the very few sellers that actually list sizes 1 through till 12. So in theory, you will actually have the ability to match up exactly with what Apple are actually doing with regards to their sizing. As you can see further down, they go into the quality side of things, which for the most part, it was fine. The Abyss Blue, as I've said before, was probably the worst band out of the ones that I've actually received. But even that, once you actually put it on, it does actually still feel quite comfortable, and you don't actually notice it as much, but all of the other ones just appear to be wider. As you can see from these shots, all of the colours do appear quite rich. The red in particular, compared to the one that I actually received previously from a different seller, it seems softer, if you like. It's not got a shine to it quite like some of the other sellers' products have had, which just makes them look a bit cheaper and just makes them not quite as close to the Apple product as this one. Now, in terms of the actual clasps, most of these I actually found were a bit easier to apply and remove, even compared to my actual size 4 from Apple. That for some reason sticks on one side. All of these seem to work quite well, and the actual sort of join on the clasp itself is fine for now. Obviously, we'll have to see over time how they actually hold up. Coming on to the side-by-side with the genuine and the replica Abyss Blue. Obviously, as I said, this is the worst example, but as you can see, the thing that Apple gets right more often than anybody else is how straight their band is in comparison to all the third-party ones. Anyway, that's it for this particular video. If you do have any questions, drop them down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Links will also be in the description below for you as well. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe and also hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload any new videos, and I'd really appreciate it if you also give this video a thumbs up. And other than that, thanks very much for watching.